Well,
again,
Cole
like I
runs on
kind
spite, so like
of, you both do. What are you? Who are you kidding?
Mark Crombo Weebs, my name is Cole, his name is Mike, his name is Jay, we like anime, and this is episode 180 of AniPro, and on this week's episode, we are reviewing the manga henceforth known as Gachiakuta. Gachiakuta.
You practiced that one a few times.
I've been practicing.
I knew.
I've been practicing, yeah.
he's been practicing in front of his bathroom mirror.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Yeah.
He was both hands up against the mirror. Gachiakuta. Yes.
I got it. I was like Aaron Yeager, like telling himself to fight.
Exactly. Yeah.
We're also going to talk about Horse Girls, obviously. We're going to talk about upcoming video games and maybe a movie that may be coming over here in kind of the spooky season. Ooh, possibly. We've got a mailbag question as well. Before we get into any of that, though, I just ask that you please subscribe, leave a like, give us some feedback. Your feedback sustains us. It keeps us going.
Feedback.
Yeah.
Oh, I need it. I actually need it.
Yeah. But also, I am curious, Mike, what's up with you? What's new in the world of Mike this week?
This guy, Mike,
Yeah.
here?
Yeah,
This
that
Mike.
one.
Oh, this one.
Yeah.
You know, there's this thing that happens to me every year. As soon as the weather just gets just right, you know, the sun's shining, the air is warm and not cold anymore. The humidity is kind of going away. It's summertime here, and like you can feel the summer vibes coming out. You know?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You just want to put the sunroof down in your car. You want to ride in a convertible. You want to just feel the breeze in your hair, and you know what you want to listen to? Country music.
Yes. Okay, good. I was going to make a joke. I was going to make a joke. Do I hear Chattahoochee coming on the radio, Mike?
Oh, you nailed it. Because I was going to say specifically, for me, the summertime is equal to 90s country. Because baby.
I
like a little, I'm not the biggest country head, but and I don't really love like the current genre of country. I don't know what you'd call it. Like it's like basically like, I don't know, but like
I'll die on this hill. It's garbage.
Yeah,
it's not good.
It all kind of sounds the same, and it's just this is like the soft pop rock, but with like a southern accent.
Yeah. It's a little,
but I do like some of the new artists for sure. But like you know what, just deep in my heart, there's just a part of my heart that lives for Brooks and Dunn and Alan Jackson and Tim McGraw.
Yeah,
back when country singers were country, you know.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah.
Exactly.
And yes, Chattahoochee was playing all sorts of Should Have Been a Cowboy. That song flipping slaps.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
And I know Cole, you also appreciate that 90s country music. Jay, how do you feel about 90s country? Have you ever listened to a 90s country song?
I feel like I have a very urban opinion on country music.
That is true. Mike, you and I were alive in the 90s. Jay was too, but in the ether of youth.
Yes.
And also we were raised in the sticks, out in the boonies.
Out in the boonies,
catching squirrels.
Yep.
And eating them. What?
Didn't do actually, you know, on second thought, I didn't do either of those things. But I did catch a lot of fish and eat them, I guess.
There you go. Yeah,
no.
Fish. I meant fish.
I've seen
fish.
Many
everybody.
wildlife in my days. I've seen many deers and bears and bunnies and foxes and wolves and rabbits.
Didn't you hit a bear with your car once?
I did. That's the only animal I've ever hit with my car. Actually, I hit a little bear. A little bear. And ladies and gentlemen, he was looking for that bear. Like it wasn't on the highway. It was like I was in the bush,
in the ditch.
I was driving. I saw it in the woods, just like standing there eating some honey, wearing a little shirt that only covered his top half. And I said, "That's the one. That's the one."
That
and
one's just I don't like
right off the highway, straight through the ditch, right into the woods. Hit that bear.
And then he was like, "Oops, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know how that happened." Ooh.
He just wanted the
little
honey.
Yeah,
he just wanted the honey
and that little shirt. It's cute.
Yeah, it's a little big, but Yeah. No, 90s country music. Yes, I was raised on that stuff. I love me Garth Brooks. But Garth Brooks is tough to find. He's not on anything.
That's what I was just gonna say. I dropped that fact at work this week. I'm like, try finding Garth Brooks on like any music streaming service.
Mm-hmm.
The guy's a Luddite. He doesn't want to be on. He doesn't like technology or something. He's doing the Prince or whatever. I think Prince used to do that too, where you couldn't stream any of his songs.
He's on Amazon. He's on Amazon Music.
Oh, that's right. He's an exclusive deal guy. That's why.
That's where you got to go to listen to some good old Garth Brooks.
Here's the problem with that, and as we know, as the owners of a podcast, in this day and age, you can't be exclusive.
No, you can't. You got to be everywhere.
You got to be everywhere.
I think he's doing okay. I don't think he's struggling for attention.
I don't think he cares one bit. You're right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Apparently, they're doing like a. I don't know if it's the Grand Ole Opry or something. They're doing like a Garth Brooks celebration.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Oh no! It was Austin City Limits. They're having Garth Brooks on. And I was thinking like, oh man,
like he's actually making an appearance.
Yeah, I love Austin City Limits. Great show. Have you ever seen that on PBS or something? It's like it's a concert series. And they like bring people in. It's usually on PBS.
Rip PBS. But yeah. Anyway, that's enough twanging and banging because Jay is so wildly uncomfortable with our Southern music taste.
I feel like because Cole has a more related what's on his mind, I feel like we should go to Cole first.
Oh, well, sure.
Well, okay. I guess I'll say, Jay, since you've been so gracious, Cole, what's on your mind?
Well, I have also been listening to music. How did Jay know
it was on your mind before you started talking?
I don't know.
That's very weird.
I don't know. It must be his hat.
It's all part of the scheme, I think.
Yeah.
He's been scheming.
He's hot. Ladies and gentlemen, if you take off Jay's hat, his brain is exposed now at this point. His brain has grown so big.
Keeps tweaking it.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
Keeps tweaking it. Just little adjustments to his brain. Yeah, and now it's like a pulsating mass on the top of his head.
It's like a Jello mold on top of his head.
Please not say pulsating mass.
He looks like Mojo Jojo, but
Mojo
Jojo
dome. Yeah, exactly. Mojo Jojo. We're gonna get you a Mojo Jojo helmet, Jay.
Yeah, with your pulsating mass of a brain.
I guess so.
Okay, good.
Anyway.
Yeah. No, do you guys like mid 2000s like pop punk music?
Sure do.
Yeah, I've been listening to American Idiot by Green Day, the album. Oh, I don't know why. Ooh. Maybe it's similar to what you said, Mike. Like the I don't know, the warm air, the
pop punk and warm air and summer also go together, so that fits.
Yeah, I've just been vibing to that. Of course, the title track, absolute banger. Jesus of Suburbia. Oof.
Oh, yeah,
great tune. Yeah, with the back-to-back Holiday and Boulevard of Broken Dreams.
They really Green Day we're like, okay, we're gonna be pretty good for most of our careers, but we're gonna put out 2 albums that are gonna just change the face of music forever.
Exactly.
And then we're gonna go back to just being kind of middle of the road.
Yeah. And people always accuse Green Day, oh, they're sellouts. Okay, first of all, they're just popular.
Yeah.
Pop or punk music goes hand in hand with political fighting against the man.
Yeah.
So American Idiot, I will stand here and defend this. I think it's a seminal punk album.
Yeah, I don't disagree. Especially because punk's kind of dead these days too. So yeah.
Yeah.
And even by then, yeah.
Just the fighting against the authority, the whole anti-war aspect of that album is really good and still quite relevant today.
Quite poignant today, yeah.
Quite poignant.
The cool thing about Green Day too is they seem like pretty cool dudes from what I see too. Because I frequently see them. This is how I judge if an artist is a good person or not. Is you'll see videos of them live. Or just behind the scenes, and they're just being the nicest people. They'll see a guy with a sign in the crowd saying I can play American Idiot on guitar, and then Billy Joe Armstrong, the singer of Green Day, will pull him up and be all right, can you really do it? Here's my guitar. Have at it.
Yeah.
Or I saw one
he's either being really nice or really mean.
Yeah.
In that situation. Oh yeah. You think so? All right, come on up. Why don't you play it then? Big shot.
No, I don't. I think you're projecting your own self on him a little bit there, because he seemed pretty genuine. Give him hugs and stuff like that. And then the other one I always think of too is I saw them. They went to like Ireland or something, or Scotland. I always get mixed the two up. I'm so sorry, Scottish and Irish people.
Oh no,
I know.
Cancel him. Get him.
I know. Cancel me. I always mix them up. I know.
Get 'em.
I know that's I know that's bad. I know that's a bad thing, but I just do. They're both kind of. You know what? I'm going to stop talking before I dig my hole even deeper.
They both speak English, but also have.
They're both
regional...
great countries, and we love everyone that listens to us from them.
That is true. That is a valid fact, Jay.
Yes, I do love whiskey, and I do love Guinness. One of those I hope is Scottish.
They're both Irish. You could have said Scotch.
Scotch. I love Scotch too.
Mike, you can stop digging that hole anytime.
Anyway, there's like a video of Green Day performing in like a local pub. Like it'd be like the equivalent of them like performing in like, I don't know, like your like corner bar. Like it's like it fits maybe. I mean, it was packed because Green Day was there, but it fits maybe like 100 people.
Yeah,
and they're just having the time of their lives, and it's like
the only caveat I'd put on that, Mike, is they seem like really great dudes unless Billy Joe Armstrong is like relapsing. Then then he doesn't seem like a very fun guy to be around.
I don't know if many relapsing people are fun to be around.
Yeah. But when they're on their game, man, great stuff. Yeah. And I think American Idiot is an all-timer, absolute banging album.
I prefer Dookie, but that's just personal taste.
Neither here nor there. You're wrong, but
their best song is on neither of those albums as well.
What's their best song?
Their best song is Oh Crap. Oh,
such a good
crap,
song.
Oh, crap.
Yeah. I love that song.
I love that song.
Time of Your Life.
Is that not on Dookie?
Nope.
Maybe it's on like Nimrod or something, actually.
It is on Nimrod. You're correct.
Yes. Their other album.
Yes. They're like, I guess, probably third place album.
Yeah, I would say that. I'd be comfortable saying that one.
Yeah.
What do you think, Jay?
Do you feel comfortable I've listened to statement? Maybe like one of their songs. Sure.
Is one of them Time of Your Life?
No, it's American Idiot.
Bring in the chair.
Yeah,
bring in the chair.
Yeah. We're gonna indoctrinate him with Green Day, but we're gonna play it live for him, Cole, because it's also very easy to play Green Day.
Green Day's fun. I like Green Day.
They're fine.
Yeah.
You know what, Jay? I hope you had the time of your life. Okay.
Yeah. I hope you had the time of your life this week because we're about to roast you. What's on your mind, Jay?
I went to see Thunderbolts this weekend.
Oh.
You mean the new Avengers?
Good job spoiling the movie for all of our listeners, Mike.
Well, they did it themselves because they
I was going to get
big
to that
media campaign.
It's so stupid that they did that, but yeah, they just like after a weekend just started posting like, "Oh, go see the new Avengers." It's like, dude, most people have not seen this movie.
You couldn't give us a week?
Yeah.
I don't even know. I don't know what the spoiler is, to be honest with you, but I've heard of the Thunderbolts / the new Avengers is really good.
It is.
I've heard it's.
I just assume at the end, I guess they are replacing the Revengers.
So
after
Endgame,
hold on, Jay.
Yeah.
The Revengers? Did you just say the Revengers? Yeah.
Oh,
I'm not letting that go, Mike.
You know what?
Letting that one go.
For a guy whose favorite Star Wars character is Dark Invader, I believe that. Jay, please tell us your mind before Cole can interrupt you.
No, it's all good. Yeah, I saw the Thunderbolts and like who would have thought that actually writing characters instead of just making caricatures dressed like superheroes actually makes a movie good.
Yeah, go figure.
Who'd have thought?
Yeah. Let's write characters instead of set pieces.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Yeah. Very, very, very smart idea. And like, I think they did a really good job with the villain too, which like Marvel, especially even before people said that Marvel fell off.
Yeah.
The villain's always been, but like, he's written in such a way that like it thematically fits with everything else going around the movie. So it's just a really good character piece through and through.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm actually very excited to see it because it's actually probably the first Marvel movie in quite a while that I'm actually like kind of interested in seeing, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? I thought I'd miss a lot more, but like I recently looked at like what's come out of the actual like main timeline of Marvel, and there really isn't that much that I've missed. It just seems like they kind of slowed down a little bit.
A little bit.
Which is good.
I think that
they're kind of thankfully slowing down, if you ask me.
Yeah, I think that the problem that we've had with superhero movies is like they're more concerned with putting out superhero movies than they are with putting out like movies that have superheroes in them, if that makes sense.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Like the best superhero movies out there are like drama pieces that have superhero stuff in them.
Exactly. Yeah. You always think of like The Dark Knight, and it's like, well, that's like a crime procedural movie with Batman.
Yeah.
Which is perfect. It's cool.
It's kind of why like The Boys, for example, is so good in my opinion, because it's like this crazy story. It's like basically like a conspiracy thriller show that has a bunch of superheroes in it.
Or I mean, even if we talk about Marvel, like
Spider-Man
Captain
2.
America. No, which Captain America? When it was it? Winter
Civil
Soldier.
War?
Winter Soldier.
Oh, Winter Soldier. Yeah.
Winter Soldier. Yeah, it was like a spy movie.
Yeah, it's an espionage movie.
Yeah.
Really
cool.
Or
I'm glad that there's a resurgence, slight resurgence. We'll see.
I really hope that A, this movie does well in the box office, and B, if it does do well in the box office, Marvel looks at it and goes, "Oh, people want like well-written characters instead of like, oh, people want team-up movies." Because
exactly.
Well, Jay, I have good news for you. New Avengers is the 4th worst MCU Thursday box office, apparently.
I heard about that, yeah.
Well, I mean,
and
we're
apparently their
curve here.
Opening weekend was 76 million. Yeah. So it's apparently it's like just kind of
bobbing along. Yeah.
But I mean, that's kind of fair.
I can see this. Yeah, go ahead, Jay.
Because like it's not the Thunderbolts is not a well-known superhero IP.
Yeah.
So people aren't rushing to see it.
I suspect it will, for that reason, and because of like the reaction online. I could see this one having some legs to it too. Like that most movies kind of die off after the first weekend, I feel like, but I think this one might be one that kind of sticks around a little bit too.
Could be.
I'm interested in it, and not just because it has Florence Pugh in it. So that's good. And Sebastian Stan.
Yeah. I mean, both incentives, certainly.
Yes. Florence Pugh is great.
She's a very good actor. Yes.
But after that, I feel like I'm gonna have a movie-filled weekend because today I'm also gonna watch a movie. I'm gonna watch this.
Perfect Blue.
Perfect Blue. That's
nice.
Right. I saw you ordered that. You posted it in our Discord. Join our Discord, by the way. Links in the description.
Join our Discord, please.
Yeah.
Please come.
I am excited. I want you to watch that and tell me all about it. Maybe I'll watch it too, Jay. I'll watch it too, and then we can talk about it.
Have you seen it, Mike?
I've not, and I know I'll love it. Is the thing.
I also know I'll love it. Like
all the stuff it's inspired, I love. So it's like I must also love this.
Yeah. And also like I always hear like Satoshi Kon is like one of the most prolific directors ever. So
rest in peace to a goat.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know why I'm laughing at that.
Speaking of goats,
it's funny because the audio only people will be like, Cole just laughed at that and he didn't see the silly little gesture I did. Or they didn't see
gesture. Oh my God, Mike, you're on a roll today.
What is wrong with your lips and why are they making fun of me so much? I don't know. I've been taking care of a teething baby all day, so my brain is just fried. So.
She's just biting. She's just biting you.
She bit my neck and took the vein right out and started sucking my blood. Is that normal?
Vampire.
That's not normal.
It's funny. It's funny you say that, Jake, because she's actually she's got her bottom 2 front teeth. Now she's getting only the ones on the side on the top first.
Only the canines.
The canine teeth?
Not the canines, but the ones next to him. So I'm going to call her a little vampire for a bit.
Okay. Yeah.
It's funny. Get it? It's funny.
It's funny, Jay.
Get it?
It's funny.
It's funny.
It's humor. You should be laughing.
Yeah. Laugh.
Speaking of laughing.
Laugh, monkey. Laugh.
Speaking of
Jay was
laughing,
transitioning
I want to see where Jay's going with this.
Yeah. I want to see
we should laugh at the crazy news stories that have come out over the past little bit.
You know what's really bad, though? I knew we were doing news. I knew that we were going to do news, but I forgot that we have like a drop for it.
That's funny.
Live from AniPro Studios. The news.
Cole,
It looked like you were searching for the drop. Yeah.
I used the news drop in one of our ads.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh well, no. Like we don't do news very often. So like I forgot that we.
You've reminded me, Cole or
What?
Jay, actually.
Oh.
Can you scroll to the bottom of your drops list? There's a new one. I
absolutely can. Give me one moment here. Let me
in
play
all caps.
it. I'm not going to even look at what it says. I'm just going to click it, and we're going to find out together what it is. Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Why I oughta.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. That one's pretty scary, though. Pretty scary, if I'm honest.
It's very powerful.
It is very powerful. Yeah, it's we're in the news desk, so welcome to the newscast, AniPro News.
Hold on, I need some papers to tap against the desk.
Hold on, I got you.
I got it.
Riveting audio.
Hold on, let me flip open my. This has just turned into ASMR, but like really bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. World's worst ASMR. Hold on, let me make some nice noises. Hello and welcome to the news.
When are you going to make nice noises? I'm just wondering. Are you going to start soon?
I frankly don't know how to make
our top story of the week.
So.
Our top story of the week, ladies and gentlemen, is old news. Old news, but you know me. I love my horse girls. And I felt like if we're going to talk about news, I feel like this is an important thing that happened. And it's just, it goes to show the ubiquitousness? Sure. Of like the anime nowadays. Umamusume's Psy Games partnered with the 151st Kentucky Derby. Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
They had a booth at the Kentucky Derby proper, and they also had. Sorry, I should have had this prepared. I'm so sorry. They basically had Psy Games logos on the gates and on the like horses like bibs. Bibs? I don't know.
Okay.
But they didn't sponsor the main race. They sponsored a different race. It's called the Unbridled Sydney Stakes, which features female horses 3 years or older, which feels appropriate. They sponsored like a major female horse race. I also saw like clips of different Umamusume stuff kind of around the Kentucky Derby, which just made me think like, what are all the people who are there for horse racing? What are they thinking about all of this? They're like, what is going on?
They're like, whoa, I can watch the derbies on my phone in a video game and on an animated cartoon.
And they're cute anime girls. So it's a win-win. It's a win all around. I like I said, just the idea of like anime becoming such a big major thing in the world now, where Psy Games can promote Umamusume to the world in this instance. Of course, this is also just like a push for the upcoming worldwide release of Umamusume Pretty Derby, which is June 26th. Everybody should go pre-register.
You could go, like, basically the draw of going to the tent that they had set up was they had the English demo available to play, right? So, like, we were teasing Cole, like, are you going to the Kentucky Derby this year then?
Man, I would.
Play.
That's like...
Kentucky Derby would be cool, actually.
Say what you will, like, I'm not a horse racing guy yet, but, like, that's like one of the seminal, like, sporting events in the calendar, the Kentucky Derby.
Yeah.
What do they say? It's like the most exciting 90 seconds in sports or something like that.
We should really go to like our local horse racing. I've always wanted to go and just gamble just a little bit. That
was going to be my next question. When are we going to the Assiniboia Downs to watch some horsies running? The only problem is, do you know when their race night is?
It's like isn't it like a Wednesday or something?
It's Tuesday nights.
That's a problem.
That's kind of crappy. Yeah.
That's kind
well, I've got a week of holidays coming up, so maybe I'll go watch some horses.
Yeah. Cole's getting addicted to horse racing now.
I don't know. Maybe it's the long game Umamusume is doing. They're like, we know of that one guy in Canada who gets obsessed with things, And this is the next logical step for his Umamusume obsession. He's going to go gamble on horses.
Yeah.
And
I do think it's kind of funny that like, and you kind of pointed this out, Cole, but like, imagine like the 70-year-old guy who just loves horse races.
Mm-hmm.
He's lived in Kentucky his whole life.
Yeah.
He's going to this event and he stumbles into the Psy Games booth.
Yeah.
It's like, I wonder what this is all about.
What's going on?
And he
here?
just sees horse waifus and falls in love and then spirals into the same addiction you have.
I hope there
around.
is. I hope that's true, and I hope he discovers his new favorite anime podcast, and he reaches out and he's like, "I'm that guy. I am an 80-year-old man who fell in love with these horse girls from Japan. My favorite one is, let's go with Rice Shower. Rice Shower is my favorite horse girl. Not mine, just to be clear. It's the old man in my hypothetical story." Jay, I also sent you, and Mike, I guess, a cute photo of Ugori Cap. Ugori Cap holding a Pikachu, which is very cute.
I did see that.
No response. No response from either of you. But that's okay. We can move on to our next story. Jalian, it's your turn to tell us about an upcoming video game that may or may not be anticipated.
Do we have to play the
take it away?
The Game Corner drop?
No. Well, I mean, I guess you could. Here, I'll play one for you.
Good job, Jay. Oh,
take it away, Jay.
You dirty dog. You dirty dog.
You dirty sneaky snake.
Well, welcome to the Game Corner abridged.
Do you want me to play it? I'm gonna play it.
Welcome to the Game Corner.
I wish we had like a truncated version of it. Like it was just really fast. It was just really fast. So
you could do that in post, Cole.
I could.
You're the master of the edit.
I could, but I'll forget.
You'll forget. And it would also make things hard on the edit too. So.
Yeah.
Ooh, welcome to the Game Corner. We got
I want that to be the new Game Corner intro.
Yeah.
Clip it. We got some crazy news for you this week. GTA 6 got delayed before GTA 6.
Whoa. I can't believe we got a GTA 6 delay before GTA 6. That's absurd.
I can't believe we got an American Pope before GTA 6.
Legit. That's wild.
But it's kind of crazy that we also got a GTA trailer before GTA 6 because we got to offset
the second trailer technically.
This is
trailer 2
to offset the disappointment of a delay. We also got a second trailer for the game captured entirely on a PS5.
Base PS5.
Yeah.
Base PS5. Man, how is that game is going to explode my PlayStation. Like how is that going to run on there? It looks
it's got to
like
be
I know they're
PS6.
They're probably cutscenes. Oh, it will be. The Grand Theft Auto
this game will be
5.
On PS7.
Yeah, Grand Theft Auto 5 was on what was it released on?
PS3.
PS3. Yeah. Yeah, it's transcended generations. And this will too, because it costs $2 billion to make this game.
Yeah.
GTA 5 came out in 2013, by the way. So
it did, yes.
12 years.
Yeah. Well, hey, yeah. No, GTA 6? I don't know.
GTA 6?
There was some steamy
Mike's
stuff in that trailer. Yeah, there was some steamy stuff in that trailer.
It was quite steamy. And I will say too, again, this trailer kind of surprised me a little bit because usually Grand Theft Auto games are pretty gangster, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like they're pretty heavy on the gangster stuff. This one seems like it's like a romance story, like almost like there's like
Bonnie and Clyde thing.
Yeah, it's like a Bonnie and Clyde type story. It's cool. Yeah. I like that. It's kind of a change up from their normal formula. Usually they have like, oh, I'm mob boss. I'm here to, or stuff like that. But this is a little more. And God,
I think we're also back in Vice City.
Yeah, man. Vice City, let's go. I also like that it's kind of expanded out of Vice City. Like Vice City, obviously based on like Florida.
Mm-hmm.
So like we got some like bayou stuff. Like we got some swamps, which is cool. It's like Florida is more than just like beaches.
I
it's
think Vice
quite,
City's supposed to be Miami. I
think so. Yeah, I don't want to say for sure, but that makes sense.
Yeah, and I agree. It's kind of like this game. The map is not that much bigger than Grand Theft Auto 5, but I think it looks more dense, maybe, and like obviously like the characters and like the textures and stuff look like. We're getting to the point now where it's like, how good can games look? Like it's getting ridiculous. Like it's getting ridiculous.
I don't see games getting much better looking than they do now. I think the major like steps forward in gaming is going to be like with regards to frame rates and like different technical aspects, because like how do you increase the fidelity and the lifelikeness from where it's at now?
I could also see VR becoming the future of gaming, just like slowly moving over to that, which whether you like it or not.
I think if they could make it less uncomfortable. I agree.
That's the thing. Is I have a hard time picturing the very casual people getting into VR.
But I mean, people probably would have said that about the joystick too.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Who wants to fiddle with
or
this
like
joystick?
the home console, right?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, that's true. Like, kids, like, no, I'd rather go to the arcade. What do you mean I could have a console at home? It's like, now look at arcades. Look at them.
Yeah.
That's right. There aren't any.
But like I saw, like the trailer looks so realistic and good that like I saw someone actually like played it for their parents and told them it was the news, and they like believed it, and it was like they thought it was real life.
Yeah,
and like part of that's being a little bit like of a senior, probably.
That's a little hyperbolic.
Yeah, but I could see that. Yeah,
I could genuinely see it because it looks like that realistic. I saw that they spent like part of the reason for the delay is they put a lot of effort into like how the character models physics and stuff works. Like they like actually sweat, and like the sweat has its own physics, which is crazy. I'm sure the jiggle physics were probably an entire month or probably an entire year of this game's development too, because frankly, there's a lot of
they had to contact the Japanese and ask them like, how do you guys do jiggle physics?
How do you do this?
And they're like, we got you. We got you.
No, I don't think they did, because the trailer wasn't like if they contacted the makers of like Dead or Alive or something, then things would be flying out of like it'd be ridiculous.
That's true. Well, I mean, this is just the trailer. They're still working on it, Mike.
We still haven't seen actual gameplay of GTA 6.
That's true. That's true.
That is true.
I'm assuming everything in the trailer was cutscenes and but I mean, who knows? Like I for the amount of time that they've put into this, I think this will be a pretty apt representation of what the gameplay will look like as well.
I think so too. I think that, and like frankly, I know the reaction to a delay is disappointment, like Jay said at the top of this, but like I feel like it's been so long that like I was talking about it at work with some coworkers, and the reaction we kind of all had was like, yeah, it sucks, but like we've waited so long already. Yeah. I'm totally fine with them taking another 6 months to like.
Yeah.
At the same time, like I just think about games like Cyberpunk 2077.
Exactly.
That release is like a giant mess. I don't want that, especially for a game this hype.
There'll be bugs at the beginning for sure, just because it's such a big game. But
but like if they get more time to work on stuff like that and patch it out, that's a good thing. Yeah. Don't think of that as a bad thing.
Yeah, I was talking to somebody at work as well, Mike, because I also talk to people at work. And we were talking about the delay, and he's like, it sucks. It's just, I'm surprised that it's being delayed because like investors want these games released. And I was just thinking like,
it's true,
man, the investor, if there's any game to not be concerned about this game performing well, it's Grand Theft Auto. This is going to be when the Grand Theft Auto 5 came out, it was the most successful media product item thing ever. And Grand Theft Auto 6 will also be the most sold.
It's going to set records.
I think Red Dead Redemption 2 got delayed as well, and people were upset. And then when it released, it was like 10s across the board.
Yeah.
And like the highest selling game of the year. Like it was.
I think Rockstar has earned the benefit of the doubt in it. I think that they've earned our trust.
Yeah. I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to say it'll probably be good. That's how you go out on a limb. Leave
way to
a
be
little
brave.
bit of space.
Yeah. I'm going to go out on a limb, and I will bet
on a lane.
I'm going to go out on a limb, and I will bet 100 doll hairs.
To
who
who?
are you getting those doll hairs from?
That this game will be 10s across the board too.
Yeah.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say that GTA 6 will be the most GTA 6 game of all time.
Wow. What a take. What a take he's had.
I've
never heard that take before.
True,
no,
true.
Who would say that sentence? You're right.
I'm going to predict a Metacritic score of 96. Mike, what do you think?
Oh, 95.
Jay?
97.
Come on, Jay. 97. Oof. That would put it up there for sure.
Speaking of high Metacritic scores, just to quickly divert us before we go into the next one.
Mm-hmm.
Jay, have you seen the Metacritic score for the game we were talking about last week, Claire Obscure?
Not recently. I know it's high.
It's gone down a little bit.
Has it?
Okay, no, it's the user score. Sorry, its Metascore is 92, and the user score is 9.7, which is the highest of all time for all video games.
For the user score?
The user score, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's the highest rated game ever on PlayStation Network too. Craziness.
Well,
I don't think I don't playing it.
Did you download it?
No.
Because I saw it's like, I think the physical release, like they didn't really make very much of it, and they need to like literally make more.
Yeah, they were probably not anticipating such a huge.
That's
release.
what I figured when it was sold out everywhere.
Yeah,
I got a notification from our like Canadian person who like puts out like video game tweets. Like, he's a guy who got me a PS5 by his tweets or whatever. Shout out LBA Bins on Twitter. He put out a thing saying there's a pre-order on Walmart for Claire Obscure going out because like it's like considered like they need to completely re-release it basically.
Yeah. You could also buy it at EB Games soon because it's coming back.
Oh yeah, EB Games. Yeah, that's nice. I like that.
Yeah.
The world's healing.
Speaking of huge loads, Mike.
No, do go on, Cole. Do go on.
What's your new story?
Yeah.
Tell me about what you're gonna talk about.
What are you talking
about?
Such a crazy baka, Cole.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe I just said that. Chainsaw Man, huge load. Chainsaw Man, the movie Reze arc. Reze arc. Reze. Chainsaw Man, the movie Reze arc. Riz arc, I'm going to call it the Riz arc.
Let's call it the Riz arc.
Because he rizzes up
the Rizzler. Yeah,
he's a Rizzler. Denji. Yeah. They've announced that this movie is coming to the United States and presumably Canada because we just copy y'all. On October 29th of this year, which is very soon, actually, surprisingly. And
finally,
yeah, more importantly, and I know Cole's going to be punching some air about this because he's going to be excited. We're getting it like just over a month after Japan gets it. That's progress. That's progress, guys.
Let me just kind of vent about the whole like Reze arc thing. They announced this movie like a decade ago. That might be hyperbolic. A few years ago. Like, I can't believe it hasn't been released yet. Period.
I think it was 2023 probably, because I remember they announced it like after the anime ended.
It was like right after season 1 ended,
and the season 1 premiered in October 2022. The article on Crunchyroll says so.
I'm looking forward to it. Do you guys want to go see it?
Me too. If I can, because like I think the nice thing, like we've all read this arc in the manga. I think we're all current on the manga. Actually, we're very close,
but
we're very close.
Fairly close.
For me, current is like within 5 chapters of whatever's happening right now. Is that what
I'm not current?
Okay.
I think I'm the most caught up on it, unless Mike's like up to date and reads it every week.
I might be 2 chapters behind, I think.
Damn.
Because I usually read it in like 3 chapter bursts is usually how I do it.
It's like a shotgun.
Yeah. But the thing that I wanted to talk about here is other than the fact that we're getting it quick, which is good. That's a good sign. We all have read this, and I think that this arc adapts well for a movie, and I think that the Chainsaw Man fans and the people who are just going to see this because they like the first season, I think they'll enjoy it. I think it'll like translate well to a movie.
I think it works as a standalone
agree.
thing better than it would as a season, just because like it kind of feels very on its own.
Yeah, yeah, and it's fairly short with regards to like some of the other arcs in Chainsaw Man. I feel like it's a good like before season 2 finally comes out. I feel like it's a good middle. Oh, it will. Feel like it's a good like. Here you go. Here's your appetizer. Appetizer. That's the word I'm looking for.
But I also feel like Chainsaw Man, this arc is where like it starts getting good. If you know what I mean. Like I feel like from basically this movie to the end of the first part of Chainsaw Man is like the good part of Chainsaw Man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I'm just excited to see that. Yeah,
me too. I will go and see it, and I'll drag
reluctantly
Michael
come with you guys.
I'll drag Michael kicking and screaming, and Jay, he will also follow behind.
Yeah, he will.
I'll be there.
He'll be sitting there with his Skittles and his Dr. Pepper and happy. But he won't look happy. But he'll be happy in his heart.
He will be happy.
Yeah,
he better be happy.
The other thing I wanted to ask you guys is like, the other thing I wanted to ask you was, how do we feel about like all these big properties moving to the standalone movies that are like critical to the plot? Do we like that or do we not like that?
It depends.
I was talking with a coworker and he was very against it. He thought it was very dumb.
I probably side more with that, to be honest. Not quite as extreme. Like I don't think it's very dumb. I would just rather have seasons. In this specific case, like we discussed, like I think it lends itself well to a movie, but like they produce shows so well nowadays, like the argument for like, oh, well, you get like a better production value out of a movie doesn't hold up quite as well as it used to.
Yeah.
Of course, like it does. Obviously, movies do have a higher production value, but it's not quite the same. So I'm torn. I'm on the fence about it. I genuinely don't know if I'm for it or against it. In this case, yeah, I think I'm okay with it.
I feel like the biggest problem with it isn't really that it's a movie, but more that it's super inaccessible for us. Because like if it had the same accessibility as a season, I don't think anyone would care.
Yeah, that's true too. The accessibility factor. But now it's getting closer and closer too. Like, it's just a month, but
yeah.
No, that's fair too. Yeah.
And I think that like for some shows, like if you're to adapt it to a season, and you adapt like an arc that like could stand on its own as a movie, but like you're like, well, I want more people to see this, so we adapt into a full show. And like the stuff after like is kind of long in a way where the season would end on a weird spot.
Okay.
I don't know if I'd be down for that, just because like if let's say it ends in that weird spot and then we don't get another season of it, it's like well, that feels weird. That feels very go read the manga-y as an adaptation, and I know that would just be a little bit of a bummer.
You know what? Actually, I've been thinking about it more all this time. I think I'm getting more and more upset, not at the fact that they make the movies, but the fact that after they release the movie, they go and they cut the movie into a season of anime anyway.
I don't like that either. I don't like, you know what? I actually don't like when they cut it into the season of anime after.
Yeah, Demon Slayer did it with Mugen Train. Like Mugen Train, I like that movie, and I was like, okay, I'm excited to see where it goes. And then the next season of anime comes out, and it's just Mugen Train. It's like, well, what's the point of any of this then?
Yeah.
Either make the movie and let that stand on its own, or just make the season of anime.
And I feel like in the case of Chainsaw Man, I wouldn't put it past them to put out a season that's just Reze.
Oh, they will now that you've said it, Cole, it's 1,000 million billion trillion % happening with this, because
and you know why?
That's just what Mappa do. Yeah.
Oh, of course. Yeah, of course. It's money. Like it's the most obvious thing.
Chopping it up and airing it, though.
Well, sure. Yeah, because then you've got all of this footage you can use to fill up airtime and get commercial
ad money.
Ad money. Thank you. Yeah, no, it's unfortunate, but it's true. That's what'll happen.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
that
you
ended
guys-
on a bummer.
I'm looking forward to it though.
Give me an upper though, Cole.
I'll give you an upper. You guys.
Yeah.
Give him an uppercut.
I'm gonna dive into this bag like Scrooge McDuck dives into a pile of stuff.
It's time for the mailbag.
It's mailbag time. If you got a mailbag question, you can send it to us over at our website, AniProPod.com/mailbag, or on our Discord. This comes from our Discord. It's also a patron priority mailbag. Wee woo. By the way, Scrooge McDuck dives into his like safe filled with gold coins, which I can't imagine.
Dives into piles of money.
Comfortable. Mogmog is asking us a question though.
Okay.
They say, the anime conclave has elected you anime pope. It's Papa Guardian. You get to canonize one anime character as an anime saint. Who do you choose? And what are they the patron saint of? The pope means like Papa.
Oh, that's
Papa.
okay.
Yeah.
I sent a list of patron saints from Wikipedia, by the way, in the Discord. If you guys want to look, I didn't realize there was quite this many. There's patron saints of bloody everything.
Oh, there's many saints.
There's a patron saint of pyrotechnics.
Oh, who is it?
Erasmus of Formier.
Oh,
there's a pastry crimper patron saint.
Okay.
There's a patron saint of plowboys. I'm just in the peas.
No,
there's a patron saint of popes. That just feels circular.
Yeah. I declare myself the patron saint of popes, says
patron saint
the
of
new
spectacle makers. My guy Jerome.
just Jerome.
Just Jerome. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, Mike, you're going through the list there. Do you got an answer to this question though?
Yeah, sure. I'll come up with one unless you guys got one right off the dome.
I'm toying with one, but if
okay,
I've got one in the chamber.
Okay,
Okay.
fire it off.
Okay, this one is a character that is comes up a lot on this podcast. And I feel like Cole will enjoy this pick because of reasons.
Don't do it,
you'll see why in a minute.
Gonna be mine.
Okay,
no.
then you take it. You take it. I can think of another one.
Okay, here's my patron saint.
Is it Misato, the patron saint of seducing minors?
Ladies and gentlemen, the patron saint of AniPro, obviously, is Misato Katsuragi.
Oh,
I was gonna say the patron saint of bartenders, because then she can just get you a beer whenever you want.
Oh. No, I feel like she's a recurring character enough that I gotta go, mommy Misato.
That's fair.
And she's kind of the patron saint of this podcast. We always bring her up, and by we I mean me.
Yeah,
I always bring her up.
Yeah, she always comes up somehow.
Yeah, that's who I'm going with. I could also run through just my favorites and come up with different patron saints, but you guys go ahead. I don't mean to steal the spotlight from.
Well, now mine feels lame. I was gonna go with Light Yagami as the patron saint of like judgment.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Because I feel like that's like his whole thing, right? But now I don't like it. Yours is more fun, Jay. Yours is more fun.
It was mine. That was mine.
Cole's.
No, it's Jay's. It's really Jay's.
No, it was mine.
No.
No. Okay, Jay. What do you got?
I gave you mine, so I'm gonna have to scramble for one.
Okay, I'll go with another one. The patron saint of being the best. Nakano sister, Yotsuba Nakano.
What?
I have said it. I've decreed it.
I got one.
Yeah.
She also comes up often on this podcast. The patron saints of little bows. It's Chika Fujiwara.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Kaguya-sama Love is War.
That's a good one. Yeah, don't forget, Jay, your patron saint can be like the most menial thing, apparently.
Yeah, that's what we learned here. Is there's patron saints for bloody everything. Patron saint
fair.
of clowns. There's two of them, Genesius and Metrinius. Because we didn't have, we need more than one.
Need multiple patron saints of clowns.
Is there a patron saint of podcasters? Let's see.
There is now, Mike.
That'd be crazy.
Henceforth, you are.
Henceforth, you shall be known as
Darth. Jay, who's your patron saint?
Yeah, Jay, give us your patron saint.
I'm gonna go with the patron saint of best girls, and I'm gonna pick Miku Nakano.
Oh, I see how it is. I see how it is.
He's
I'm
just
going
got a one-up
Griffith
me.
for patron saint of friendship.
No, anti-pope over here. That's awful take. Awful take.
I'm like the Pope before the one that just died, where he's just a kind of a questionable dude.
Benedict? I don't know. He was
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Benedict poped Benedict the Cumberbatch.
That's right.
Yeah, I think that's all that I got for now. I feel like mine is legit. I like.
I'm gonna go. I got one more.
Okay.
The patron saint of garbage turning garbage into treasure. Rudo from Gachiakuta.
Oh,
okay.
Oh,
okay. I like that.
Okay.
I would give that same since we can elect 2 patron saints, I'm gonna make also that patron saint be oh crap, what's his name from One Piece? Jay, help me out. The guy who can do them.
Luffy.
Magneto.
Yeah. What's his name?
He's basically Magneto in One Piece. Captain
Kid. Yes. Yeah.
Eustace Kid. Yeah. He is also the patron saint of turning garbage into good things.
Yeah.
Okay. The patron saints of turning garbage into more tolerable garbage is Mike, Cole, and Jay. Not quite extreme.
Well, mine was supposed to be a segue for, and stay tuned for Gachiakuta.
Oh no, I know. It's just, you know me. I like to
doesn't read the room very well.
I like to joke around sometimes. Do you guys want to go to a break while Jay beats me?
No.
I'm gonna beat you both.
No.
I want to watch. That's 2 weeks in a row. Jay's been why-I-oughting us, eh?
Why-I-oughting? Oh yeah.
He's
No.
really,
Let's
been feisty lately.
Yeah, we're gonna. Jay had a wonderful segue that I derailed. We're gonna review Gachiakuta after this.
He tried.
That was wrong. Break.
He said Gachiakuta, not Gachiakuta. Break.
Gotcha. Yeah. Whatever. Who cares?
Hey, YouTube viewer. I don't mean to interrupt you during a well-deserved break, but can you do me a real quick favor? You see that little button there? The one that looks like a thumbs up? Can you just click that? Just real quick. Yeah, great. Thanks. Oh, and while you're down there, can you just hit subscribe? Yeah, like that. Thanks. Oh, what's that? You're not on YouTube, but instead listening to the podcast on... And you want to join in on the fun? Well, if you want, why don't you leave a 5-star review? No matter how you're watching or listening, providing feedback to us helps AniPro grow so that more and more people can listen to us and our perfectly normal and not strange at all takes. And seeing as you're being so cool, why don't I let you in on a little secret? AniPro has a Discord server where you can talk to the hosts and other listeners about anime and other random topics about, like, I don't know, mayo on hot dogs and stuff. Anyway, thank you so much. What's that? You want to do even more? Oh my goodness, thank you. Well, AniPro has a Patreon where for a small donation you can get access to archived episodes and ad-free episodes. You can get episodes early and even get a monthly bonus episode. I think, yeah, that's it. Listen, I really appreciate you listening to this. I will now reward you with the second half of this episode.
Well, seeing as we're back in the episode, I feel like this is a good opportunity to say, hey, come to our Discord. You can actually nominate the shows that we're going to review going forward.
But do it quickly because we're going to announce the winner, I think, next week. I think.
Yeah. We'll do picks within the next couple weeks for sure. Anyway.
Yeah.
We got to
talk
about that.
When you listen to this, it'll be closing soon. So yeah, if you're in our Discord, you can
do it.
You can actually nominate our next reviews. We're going to pick from one. We're going to start picking from maybe one of your reviews, one of your nominations.
The pile
of listener submitted choices.
Mm-hmm.
It's like we're listening to you or something. You're listening to us. We're listening to you.
Yeah, we're listening to you.
Yeah,
listen to this guy speaking foolishly.
We do
I would
that.
Never. Do you guys want to review this manga called Goo Goo Gaga or whatever it's called?
Gachiakuta is what you're trying to say?
Radio Gaga, Radio Goo Goo,
Radio Goo Goo.
Radio
Gachiakuta?
Yeah, that's it.
Gaga.
We're gonna review that. Jay, this was yours. I think this was
No, it
your
wasn't.
nomination.
It was Mike's.
It was Mike's
Negative.
nomination.
It's
It was
mine.
Mike's nomination.
Oh my
Cole,
god!
your
I'm
whole
so
like, I'm gonna hate it. Preconceived notion that you went into it with was wrong because it wasn't even mine to begin with.
It's very defensive.
He thinks we hate. He always thinks we hate him, and we hate everything about him. It's just, it's very sad. I don't know why he thinks we'd feel that way about our friend. Yeah.
Cole went into this all, I'm gonna hate it because Jay likes it, but it wasn't
That's not
even
how I
my
think.
suggestion.
I don't think
Well,
Nicole thinks that way.
I'm gonna have to for sure rethink my thoughts on this.
He for sure thinks that way. Well, the Japanese title is also Gachiakuta. Who would have thought?
Whoa.
No way.
Japanese now. This feels so cool. Here's the synopsis of what we're about to read. Living in the slums, or where we're about to discuss.
I read it.
Came out a couple years ago. Started in 22.
February 16th, 22.
There you
You
go.
wanna get
And I'm reading the
technical.
synopsis from the upcoming anime adaptation because I feel like it's probably the same, but it might be better. Living in the slums of a wealthy town, Rudo and his foster sister Regto try to coexist with the rest of the town's residents, but Rudo despises the wastefulness of the upper class. Ignoring the warnings from those around him, Rudo regularly rummages through the town's garbage in search of anything useful or valuable to save from the abyss, in quotes. A massive hole where anything considered trash is dumped, including people. Rudo's biological father is one such person, having been thrown into the abyss after he was accused of murder. He murdered him! So then one day, after running into a mysterious figure on his way home, Rudo returns to find Regto's dying body on his floor. He's immediately... This is kind of spoilery a little bit, but it's a pretty good synopsis
It's
of the
the first
first
volume.
chapter.
Yeah. Or first chapter.
He's immediately found at the scene by authorities and charged with murder. No one believes him. Blah blah blah. He's thrown in the abyss, and he thinks he's going to die, and then he ends up in like this crazy like other world that he didn't know existed. And basically, a bunch of big like trash monsters start attacking him, and he gets saved, and then like gets kind of adopted in this like secret society of people who call themselves cleaners, and they have like these special weapons that they call vital instruments that they use to fight the trash monsters and other people. There's like a whole society that he didn't know about down on the earth where there were this higher society called the Sphere, I think, dumps all their trash. Yeah. And the reason I picked this one is because Gachiakuta is actually getting a anime this upcoming summer season, like basically in a couple months. I think it starts in like July. I could be wrong, I think.
July's right.
But yep. And I figured it'd be a good time to read this because the other thing is Jay has been trying to get me and Cole to read this. More me, I think, because this is probably more up my alley than it is Cole's.
Yeah, I didn't think I was more leaning to Mike for this recommendation.
Jay's really hedging his bet on how I feel about this manga.
Well, like even going into it, I didn't think Cole would like it.
Yeah, now that
so-
I've read it, I'll be surprised if he likes it, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just not a Cole manga.
Because it's the vibe is very like, well, I guess I'll go into my comparison to describe the vibe. The vibe is very, my comparison for this one and like recommendation, if you like this, then check this out, is Sabakui Bisco. And I feel like it kind of captures the same kind of like wasteland, very like slummy society with like, that show doesn't really have superpowers that much. It's just kind of like anime character superpowers where they're just like technically a normal dude, but they're doing things that are like insane.
Ridiculous, yeah.
This one's more, it's like if you took Sabakui Bisco and My Hero Academia and made them kith. Because like I feel like this is very like My Hero Academia, like shonen, like young boy shonen, battle shonen with like a kind of a dark twist, which I find interesting. What do you guys think is this comparable to?
You know what I immediately came to my head, and I think it's just more of like a vibe test for me. It was Land of the Lustrous for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know why specifically. Just maybe it's kind of that like, yeah, it's like Land of the Lustrous is obviously much less post-apocalyptic, but like it's still a world where like they have to fight for their survival, and like it's like very barren and wastelandy, but like Land of the Lustrous. I don't know. I can't quite put my finger on it, but that was my immediate comparison that I thought of was Land of the Lustrous. And sometimes when you think of an immediate when you think of an immediate one, that might be it. That might be the one.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I think. That's what I thought of immediately. What about you, Jay?
Okay.
I'm just gonna come out and say it. The author of this manga is the official successor to the creator of Soul Eater and Fire Force. Like he gave her his blessing, basically said, "This is my successor." So go check out Gachiakuta. So if you're a fan of things like Fire Force and Soul Eater, this is the next thing to check out, basically.
So when you say official successor, does that mean like in spirit, or like is there like an actual tie to those other properties?
Well, she was an assistant on them, at least for Fire Force.
Okay.
I think
there's
in spirit,
I see.
Probably
In spirit, yeah.
And like he's basically said, like, I'm passing the torch on to this person.
Nice.
Yeah.
K.
Urana. Yeah.
Urana.
Yes.
Listen, I can say things sometimes.
And now that we're into the review proper, I will cede my introduction to my review, my manga we reviewed.
Yeah.
To Mr. Jalen, who's the manga maestro now.
I suppose I will take this new title in stride. But before we get into the review proper, there's a thing that we like to talk about when we do these reviews, and it's when we finished it and kind of like how long it took for us to finish it.
Yes.
So let's start off with Cole. How long did it take? How long did it take you to finish it?
Okay.
I'm going Cole you first because it's Mike's thing, so I'm going...
Sure. Yeah. It makes sense. For me, I started reading it on Tuesday evening, and I opened up my phone to start reading it, and the first chapter was like 40 pages long. And I was like,
"Oh God,
oh no." So
that's pretty normal, though.
That's
usually
like a standard shonen manga.
That's what I said. That's what I said to myself. The first chapter is going to be long, and then I went to the second chapter, and it was 48 pages. And then I went to the third chapter, and it was 50 pages.
Yeah.
I finished it last night, so it took me 2 days. It did get, the chapters did eventually relent into kind of the more standard 22 pages.
Volume 1's 4 chapters, and then from then on out, I think they're like 7 or 8 chapters per volume. So
yeah, it took me a couple days, 2 days.
20 something pages per chapter.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Normal
standard.
Yeah, it's just the first few that were quite long.
Girthy.
Quite long.
Yeah.
That's why
I like our approach of volumes, because it's like a set amount of pages, really, no matter how long the chapters are.
Yeah, you start to get into like the rhythm of the manga a bit more, which I think this one benefited from, if you ask me. But Jay, how long did it take you to read this?
I read this all today. I guess I'll reveal my hand a little bit. I've read this manga already before, so like I knew what I was in for. So this is a retread for me, and I just like breezed through it.
Yeah. So are you current on this one, like in IRL outside the podcast?
So I'm technically 3 chapters behind, but that's because you have to pay to read the 3 most recent chapters if you want to do it legally, and I don't want to do that. So
you're in my definition of current, so that counts.
Yeah.
If you're like within a few chapters of the most recent one, it's like it's good enough. That's still current.
Definition.
I can't believe you finished this last minute right before the review, Jay, because that's just like something that I would do. I did the same thing. I read it all today, but I have a different reason though. I got the physical versions from the local public library. And they all came in this morning at 10 a.m. So I was like, I knew they were coming in because I ordered them earlier in the week to like go to my local library, I guess, because we have this system you can pull from any library. They ship it to their local one, and they were all in transit for the past 2 days, and then I knew that they'd appear today.
Eventually,
I just knew. So
yeah. So, well, look at me being the keener. I actually
look
read.
At you, Mr. Keener. You must have loved it.
Nice. To anyone who is looking to read the manga, it actually the first 3 volumes are actually available for free legally on the K Manga app. So you can easily check that out there if you need to. But speaking of reading, how was the reading experience for you guys? Was it easy? Was it did it get easier? Was it difficult? Did it get more difficult as you went on?
How was the reading experience? Well, I kind of addressed this. It definitely got easier. Partially because it got shorter, and partially because I think the manga started to find its stride.
Mm-hmm.
In the beginning, like I felt like it was trying on too many hats. Like it was like, okay, so we've got like this thing about like social injustice, and we got this environmentalism message, and we got this message about like prejudice, and we got this message about this, and we got this message about that, and I felt a little overwhelmed, and I felt like I was being preached to a little bit in the beginning. As the manga went on, for me, I felt like it just kind of, okay, it's like easing into kind of just like it's battle shonen, what it eventually becomes, I think. So for me, it was easier towards the end, and I think that's why I was able to finish it in 2 days rather than finishing it last minute, like you guys did. What about you, Jay?
I kind of disagree with you in the fact that like it was always easy for me, and I think that it's mostly because like she wanted to establish so much, and she didn't have enough time to do so, and I feel like that also has to do with why the subsequent chapters had so many pages, because like she had so much she wanted to tell and so much she wanted to build that she just needed more time to do that. Yeah. And then once we got there and like got everything out, all the exposition, everything out of the way, that wasn't as vital, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. The world building's done. Now we can just get into it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of am somewhere in the middle of you two, I think. I think like it started kind of rocky for me as well. Just like purely because of the amount of like exposition that was happening, and also because it starts off like I think that the message it has quite a few messages it's trying to do, but it feels like they're all very surface level and kind of like I'm 15 and this is deep was kind of the feeling I got a little bit, and like I couldn't really take them that seriously. Like I'm like oh okay, I see this is like a high class society versus low class society. I get that message. I've seen that a lot of times. And then there's the environmentalism thing, and it's like, oh, okay, I get that. And it's like, oh, we're so wasteful. It's like, okay, I get it. Okay, cool. And then it like gets into like like Jay said, once it kind of like established its footing and started like actually walking, I was like, okay, yeah. This I'm flying through this, and I had no problem. And frankly, I thought it was a very easy read for these 3 volumes. I finished it in no time with no trouble.
Well, I think, yeah, we all I think we all ended up in the same spot of thinking like this was a pretty easy read, despite us kind of starting in different places. So yeah, I think going off of that, like give it a few chapters and see how you feel moving on from there.
Yeah. And I think just read the full first volume. I feel like you get a good enough taste. I don't remember exactly where the first volume ends, but yeah, read like 5 chapters and you'll kind of get a good feel for it.
And
I'd say.
Just on your point, Mike, do you think that the first 3 volumes did a good job of setting up the story? Yeah.
I think so. I think it does feel a little bit like it feels like there's I'm waiting for there to be more, because like it just sort of it just seems like every couple chapters we get some sort of like new reveal about the world a little bit. And like it sort of feels, some of them feel built up to, and then some of them kind of just feel like they're just like, oh, I thought of a cool thing I want to throw in. And I don't know if I would say that it sets up the whole story, but I do feel like there's enough intrigue set up that like it's going to carry me through, and I'm probably like I'm considering continuing it, because it's like I was trying to think of another way to words, but like, because like it sets up the mystery of like what happened with his dad. What happened? What's the is he going to be able to get back up? And like there's all these threads that run through that will carry you through the story. And I think that it does a good job of setting up the bigger threads, even though there were definitely some rocky moments there. What do you guys think?
I think it probably, I think I'm higher on it in terms of it setting up its story than you were, maybe.
Okay.
I think it did a pretty decent job of setting up what it wanted to do. I think it took a little bit of time to get there, but by the end of the third volume, I felt like, okay, no, I get what it's trying to do at the expense of a lot of those questions. Like, to be honest, by the end, I wasn't even thinking of like his dad, like, oh, who's his dad? What happened to it? Like, I don't care. And maybe the story does, but I feel like the story doesn't either. Like, it's just kind of, it's a survival story in that aspect. It's, that's how I read it. And I felt like, it eats,
I think that's a fair way to take
into that. Yeah. What did you think, Jay?
As the person who knows what happens, I think that like this does do a good job of like telling you basically what to expect, at least. Because like the answers aren't there for you, and like you still got to keep reading to find out more about the world and the characters and everything like that. And there's a lot more to the world that it will explain, but like it gives you a good benchmark of like, this is what you can expect from the world. This is what you can expect from the power system, the characters, and the mysteries in the story and stuff like that.
And it does a good job of setting up that, like, I think pretty well nobody's having a good time in this world all the way up to like it seems like, even other than like, unless you're the noble, everybody's not having a great time.
I don't know. That engine guy feels like he's having a good time.
That's true. Yeah.
Feels like, he's the classic, like, mentor character. Your Kakashi,
every shonen manga has to have the classic mentor figure who's like this cool, aloof sensei, Yeah. They all have them. There's Kakashi, there's Gojo, there's a billion of them. Yeah.
You've seen them.
You know him. This guy, he's the Gojo of this one. He's the Kakashi of this one for sure. Yeah.
A little bit, yeah. But now that we've set that baseline, where do we think it goes from here? Do we have an idea on where it might go? Or
obviously Jay knows where it goes, so I feel like
I know. So like, I feel like I can't answer this.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like.
And try not to give it away.
Yeah. I don't know anything, so if I happen to stumble on a spoiler, I'm pure luck. I feel like the main character, what's his name again?
Rudo.
I feel like Rudo does eventually get taken by those guys, and then he has to escape, and maybe they're not as bad as you think they are, and blah 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 blah. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm right. Probably right. I'm always right. That's where I think this is gonna go. It's gonna be like, oh, morally gray villains and stuff like that. It's shonen. Okay. It's shonen. Like it's Mike kind of said it. It's I'm 16 and this is deep. And that's kind of the vibe I get from this. Like I've probably seen plot points that this one is going to do. I feel like it's not breaking any molds is basically the synopsis of what I'm trying to say.
I think I kind of agree with you. Like, I think that would make for a good arc in this, but I don't know that it'll go quite to that level. I feel like the draw of this one is really more like I feel like the fights and stuff are really what kind of where it like lends itself to. So I think it'll probably be like they kind of explore this world a lot more. I could see the main dude doing something with his like love for discarded trash. Like somehow that evolves and his powers get stronger based on that. But like also like, I don't know anything. I'm just making this stuff up as I go.
Yeah.
And like I do feel like his dad's gonna play a role somehow in this, and I do feel like the people are all morally gray. I do think the bad guys might stay the bad guys though. But I also think that he's going to continue on his journey to get back to the surface. And I don't think this is ending anytime soon. So I'm thinking he doesn't get back to the surface yet as of where Jay is. I'm guessing. But I think he probably eventually will.
Yeah. And Jay, you don't have to answer this one because you already know.
I can't answer this one because it would be spoilers.
Yeah,
but
you can just
things
sit
happen,
there.
And the manga continues, and you keep reading, and it keeps going. That's my that's my prediction.
That's where I think this manga is going to continue being written. That's my prediction. Yeah.
But while reading the manga, we were kind of talking off air, and we were kind of talking a little bit about the script, and just kind of like the translation. I think we read a little bit of a different translation. So I just kind of want to have a little discussion about like how we felt about the script in this manga. Was it good? Were you kind of like off put by it a little bit, or like how are you feeling?
Okay. I'm going to tell everybody who listens to this podcast, all hundreds of people who listen to this podcast, in confidence that nobody's going to out me on this. Listen, Jay didn't tell me that this was available for free. I
didn't know you didn't know.
So I had to set sail. And the deserted island
fan translation.
The deserted island I found myself on was one of fan translations, which I found. Listen,
those vary wildly in quality. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, they work hard. Bless them for doing what they do. But this one was not the best. For example, you guys called the group that our main character finds himself with. What do they call themselves? Cleaners. Yeah, they're called janitors in the version that I read. Yeah. Janitors. Also, one of the most atrocious things was every time somebody would do something. Like, for example, there's one point where somebody takes a step back, and there's a dialogue box where the character is clearly saying something. They didn't translate what they were saying, but instead wrote in the dialogue box, steps back, which just made me upset. You know
what that kind of feels like to me? That feels a little AI translation-y to me.
Possibly. Could be.
Yeah.
Regardless, with regards to the actual writing itself, I found it very edgy. And again, this could have just been the version I was reading.
Mine was edgy too.
Yeah, it was very...
It's a shonen manga, so like that edgy thing just kind of works with kids.
It's edgy shonen for sure.
Yeah. It's not dark. Like, like Chainsaw Man is like... Chainsaw Man's not edgy. It's like more dark. Where this one's edgy, like, I'm a edgy guy and I'm gonna cuss you out and stuff. And
if this one was a person, it would have bangs and a lip piercing.
Yeah.
It's that kind of edgy.
And they'd listen to Green Day.
They'd listen to American Idiot, Green Day, American Idiot on repeat. Yeah.
Shut up. Well, then he's got good taste in music. Anyway, that's what I kind of felt about the script. Not my cup of tea.
Kind of an interesting take on it. Because you read like the not official one, whereas me and Jay read the official one, and I think we both still had some kind of qualms with the translation / script. I don't know which one to peg it on. I don't think so either. I think it had some interesting.
It's just kind of like
the one thing.
It feels like slang, like a lot of like that grungy, weird slang that like just kind of need to adjust to.
Kinda.
And it's like, I don't know how to put it in a way that would make the most sense, but like, it feels, I could see someone being like, just tell it how it is instead of like beating around the bush with it. If that makes sense.
Okay.
Kinda.
Yeah. Like less, they're trying too hard to like build the world through like unique, slang kind of. And it's like, just get to it. Like, is that kind of what you're trying to say?
Yeah. I think that's what I'm getting at. Like, again, I didn't have a problem with it, but I think I could like see that being a problem.
Okay. I didn't have that take on it. I just thought like basically the crux of my problems with it is just the main character says like he calls people like turd head and stuff like that. And I was just like, that just feels so like juvenile, I guess.
I mean, he's also a kid, so
yeah,
I know. But
he's in the fan translation. He's dropping F-bombs all the time, which
that's what I kind of thought. I'm like, is he actually swearing in Japanese? Which it kind of feels like he is, but then like the adults are swearing, so it's kind of like which. It just felt odd to me. I'd be curious to know what like the actual Japanese is saying. And that's something that you don't always think when you're reading a manga is like, what is the actual? What is this translated? You know,
is he being vulgar? Is he actually cussing or calling people?
What is he actually
saying?
Yeah.
But I could see that it is a shonen manga as well.
Yeah,
they are trying to sell it to, not children, but
like early or preteens kind of thing.
Yeah. So they don't want him setting a bad example for all of those little babies like me.
So now about the we talked a little bit about the writing of the dialogue, but for the writing of the story itself, how did you feel about like the consistency of the manga? Did it feel like something that was planned out, or did it feel like something that was kind of like a spontaneous, like, oh, I have a new idea, let's put this in, or like what did you think about the writing?
If I may, because this was my thought. I felt like a lot of this was just being made up as they were going along. And the example I use of that is there is a battle towards the end of the third volume where, and again, it could have been the translation that I was reading, but a character is declared dead. Somebody says, they can't answer you. They're dead. It turns out in the next chapter, no, they're not great, but fine, able to talk, alive, to do stuff, and very much alive. Yeah,
very much not dead.
Yes. And that to me screamed like, oh no, I actually do like this character. I don't want them to die. Also, it was like a cliffhanger, so I get that too. It was just
a pretty dramatic way that I would fully not fault someone for thinking he was dead. I would say.
And like they kind of wrote it in a way where like they knew that you thought that he was dead. Just like with how Rudo was about the whole situation.
Yeah. And like there was just other aspects too, like just the way like it had all of these different messages at the start of the manga that I feel like it didn't really continue with. Like it did with the environmental message about like, not being wasteful and stuff. That's a pretty solid through line. But like the prejudice aspect of like Rudo is accused of like being a murderer and like, oh, of course he would be a murderer. His father was a murderer. Kind of that generational sin kind of thing, I guess, for lack of a better term. Where like I feel like it doesn't really continue with that theme. Like it just felt like some of the themes were kind of thrown to the wayside because maybe I'm applying like my ideas into how I'm thinking that it's being written, but it felt like a lot of ideas were just kind of thrown at the wall and it ran with what stuck rather than it being meticulously planned out beforehand. But that's just how I felt about it.
I felt somewhere in the middle on that. I felt like a lot of the powers and stuff like that were kind of like that. But I feel like they definitely set up like there's a lot they set up, and I feel like there's a lot they're kind of riffing as they went. Like for example, like the gloves. They clearly showed very early on that he has like the gloves are very like crucial in the power system, for example. And then that pays off pretty early on. Right.
Yeah. Like, of course they would have some ideas following through. It's just, I felt like some of the ideas were maybe half baked.
I think on a macro level, they're the major events are planned out. Maybe even up to the end. But like, there's probably like on a micro level, like, oh, I want to throw this in, or there's a space where I could throw this in.
Yeah, and I think that's pretty standard. It's just this one for some reason to me felt like it was doing that more than I would notice in something else. I felt like it was kind of wearing that more on its sleeve to me.
Okay, that's fair, I'd say.
Yeah. But you guys didn't feel like that was an issue, I guess, as much as I did.
I didn't really have an issue with it.
Yeah, I don't really hate that either. I'm fine with things kind of finding their ways, doing the Michael Scott where like they start a sentence and just figure out where it goes as they go along, you know?
Right. That's also
I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah. Like I'm going to draw a comparison. Like One Piece, for example, Oda has said that originally the plan was just supposed to be the warlords, and then he came up like while he was writing it, he came up with the world government and everything. Was like, I'm going to just like add that and do more.
But I feel like I feel like One Piece, all mangas do that. I just felt like
everything does that.
Yeah.
Some mangas are able to do it with a bit more grace. I felt like this one was a little less refined in its ability.
I would agree. I would
do
agree.
That.
The fact that we know usually when it's done well, like for example with Oda, you kind of don't notice it as much, and it's not as obvious. Whereas I feel like this one you can kind of tell, sort of.
Of course, in my defense, I did think that Jay was the one who nominated this, so I was picking it apart.
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah,
with that in mind.
Well, I knew that.
Yeah. He knows. He knows you don't like it. But yeah, no, I
well,
again, like I kind
of. So like,
you both do. What are you? Who are you kidding? I do think that like a manga like this, where it's kind of like gritty and like kind of edgy and stuff, it lends itself a bit to that kind of chaos of making it up as they go. Like I can't help but think of like a manga written by another great female mangaka, Dorohei Doro. And like that one sort of does the same thing where it has an idea of where it's going, but it kind of feels like they don't really know how they're getting there until like they just sort of like do stuff and then eventually they get there. And I feel like that's what this is doing. Yeah.
Possibly.
And it's not necessarily a bad thing. It just, by not planning everything ahead, you have a better chance of it. Some part, it's just less consistent. I find when you can tell it's like that.
Yeah. Right? And I think it's just not something I'm used to. I think. As well.
Like we said in the last episode where we talked about music and you like things polished, right? And this is very unpolished, I would say.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that as a shot against it, but yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Jay, what's our next thought?
We're waiting for you.
Yeah, I had it queued up. So we talked about things that we didn't enjoy, but what concepts or themes of this work did you find interesting? Well,
why doesn't somebody else answer first?
Well,
I've kind of taken it.
I think, like, and this was my submission to our thoughts segment too, so it's fair that I go first. I do think that this, like, the reason I put this one in here is I think there's a lot of concepts that are sort of like thrown on the table in this one, and I suspect they probably get explored in more depth later on. Like, for example, the whole. People are so wasteful, they throw away things that aren't even like actually like total. They're like totally garbage. I feel like that keeps getting like briefly touched on, but I feel like at some point there's going to be like a more of a exploration on it. And I think that there's a lot of cool themes that this could dive into. Like I really enjoy that one, for example, because like I'm a person that genuinely, I believe that like, I think the same thing. I think we're so wasteful and people they'll get like a little tear in their jeans or something, and instead of fixing it, they'll just buy a new pair. They'll throw that pair out, you know? Or like, I think that part really like kind of resonated with me for sure. And do you guys have any that resonated with you or didn't like strongly anti-resonated with you, dark matter style?
I feel like I would echo what you said. Like that is the obvious main thematic element of this is kind of like take care of the things that you have and don't be so wasteful, you know.
It's a very Japanese mentality too.
Yeah, which is nice. You know, it's everything kind of has its own soul kind of idea, and the longer you hold on to something, the more of a soul that it develops. Which I like. I like that theme. It's cool. Yeah, I'd probably say what you said. If there's any theme that resonated with me, it would be that one. Just kind of be less wasteful. I guess.
I think do you have one, Jay?
Yeah, just for me, and like it kind of ties into what you guys said, but like I think that the power system of it really like ties into that theme really well. as kind of like a if you cherish it, then it'll show you what what it is truly capable of, kind of thing.
Right.
I think that is a really cool idea, and just something really, really unique for me.
It reminds me of if either of you have seen the show or read the manga Sugumomo. It's just trash. It's like a horny horny manga. But it's the same idea that like things, if you cherish them, they'll develop a soul. But this is like more, Sugumomo is like more anthropomorphized people.
Isn't that the one where like clothes become waifus?
Essentially, yeah. The main girl is like a obi, like from a thing.
Basically a belt from a robe.
Same idea though, but like this is obviously less horny.
Which is probably that checks out. That checks out. Yeah.
But speaking of the power
I like
system,
that concept a lot.
Yeah. But
cool.
Speaking of the power system, what did you guys think of it? Did you like it? Did you dislike it?
I liked it. It was a unique power system, like you were kind of saying. The idea of like in a lot of other shonen manga, like the power system is just kind of like you train and you get stronger. Whereas this is like, no, you have to like develop a pseudo relationship with your tool, and that could take years of just like caring for it and cherishing it. There's one character who is just kind of taking care of an item because he wants it to eventually become something, which I like. It's less like, oh, you got to work out. It's like, no, just like put some love into something and it'll pay off.
It's very unique, and I like that a lot about it. Like I feel like, Jay, you probably have more of an insight into the power system. So I'm curious to know your thoughts, because like where the power system develops into and like future power-ups and stuff.
It's both like it's kind of shown its hand, but like there's a little bit more to it that it's talked about, because like it's gone forward from both like the how you care for it to both how and like what you're caring for, like what the item is. And it delves more into like what the thing is and like also why it matters to the person. And I think that's another cool thing about it is like it adds to the character, because like why this item matters so much to the person gives that extra layer of depth to them, and it gives them more power in turn. Is a really cool idea.
That's a cool concept. Yeah, that's a cool take, Jay.
But I think that as a concept and as a power is so much cooler than scream and you get stronger.
Hey, don't take shots at Dragon Ball Z.
Hey, I love Dragon Ball Z. I like it, but it's just we've seen that 1,000 times. Where at least this, it has that aspect of uniqueness to it.
Also, the way the power is animated in this is pretty cool too. Or animated, drawn in this. Drawn. Yeah. For sure.
Speaking of like how things are drawn and like fights and stuff like that, fights are a very, very important part of battle manga, and I'd say that like the battles in this are the most important part, because it's the thing that's drawn you in. Were they easy to follow? Were they easily understandable? How did you feel about the fights?
Mike, what did you think of the fights?
I think the fights were like for sure the highlight of this. I couldn't help but think of Cole, what was the manga that you made us review with? I think it was you, where the weird old waifu spirit is trapped in the school, or was it Jay? I can't remember.
No, that was Jay.
Exorcist?
Nue's Exorcist. It kind of reminded me of Nue's Exorcist, which would probably be another good like recommendation. If you like Nue's Exorcist, this feels up the same alley to me a little bit. Very different like art style, but like very similar vibe to it a little bit. A little darker, but I think that the fights for me were kind of the highlight of this, because it felt like that was what this mangaka, it feels like that's what this mangaka is good at. That feels like their strong side is choreographing and like drawing good, interesting fights with cool powers. And I liked that the fights didn't really get too bogged down in the details of like the whole power system and stuff. Like there's one that happens with like some sand person. And I kept thinking to myself, I'm like, how does the power work with the sand? I'm like, whatever. It's cool. It looks cool. It looks cool. Yeah. That's what matters. And I like that part of it. And the fights in this are pretty great in the first 3 volumes. There's not many of them yet though. But like the way that the powers are animated, the way that like the characters, it's so stylistic that it couldn't help but pull me in. What do you guys think?
It's a quality over quantity thing so far.
Yeah, so far. Yeah. I suspect there's probably going to be quite a few fights if I continue this. So
I'm certainly no shonen battle manga aficionado. But they were easy enough to follow. I found myself, like Mike said, not being too concerned about like how does this work exactly? Sometimes I did kind of lose myself in my own brain, but I understand that's a skill issue and not a knock against the manga. It's just I'm not used to this type of property. But I thought it was well done. I thought it was clean. I thought it was easy to follow, easy to ingest, if you will.
I'd agree.
Ate it. Nom, 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 nom. What about you, Jay? Did you eat it up?
Yeah, I mean, like when you're reading manga fight scenes, it's most of the time more difficult to understand. Like, okay, wait, what's going on? Because like you can't see movement, so
yeah, there's no movement. Yeah,
you kind of have to piece it together in your mind. But I feel like from panel to panel, it does a good job of like, when you go to the next panel, you can kind of in your brain go, okay, I see how they got from point A to point B.
Yeah, there's a good flow.
Yeah. That's a good word for it. This has good flow. Like everything flows very well, which led to earlier we were talking about how easy it is to read, and I feel like because it has a good flow, it's very easy to read.
The flow state, Jay. Are you familiar with that?
Yes.
From what?
Shush. So
Cinderella Grey.
Speaking of paneling and art, the art is extremely stylized in this manga. But like, did we like it?
Well put, Jay.
What a interesting way to put it.
Did we like it? Yes and no for me, I think. I
feel like you tipped your hand when you put, but did you like it? Because that kind of tells you, well,
yeah.
I feel like the natural next step is,
I thought,
no.
Personally, it wasn't for me, and I understand that. But I thought it was well done, if that makes any sense. I thought that the posing and the fights and the character designs were cool if you like that kind of stuff. I'm a boring guy who just wants to see boring people doing boring things. And this was,
we know. One of your favorite manga is just people literally sitting behind a supermarket and having cigarettes.
Yes,
exactly.
That's literally all they do.
Your literal favorite anime is about people walking around and talking to each other about their feelings.
Yes.
Or
precisely.
playing a board game equivalent of chess. While being sad.
Yeah, that's basically where I come from on this. It was cool. It was neat, but not for me, I would say.
Neat isn't maybe the wrong word. It's quite messy almost, I would say, the art style.
Neat in the sense that like, wow, that's neat. You know, like an old man being like, neat. Yeah.
Neat.
That's me.
I have no interest in that.
And I feel like the messiness is kind of the point. Like it fits the like grungy, messy vibe of the world.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
thematic elements.
This would
of
look
it. It's very-
this would look weird if it
it's-
was drawn like Change Soldier, for example.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right, where it's like so polished and bubbly, like that would just feel off. Something
Yeah.
wouldn't feel right.
Like I love how bold the lines are, or like how like some of the characters in the background will be like weird, like scary bubble monsters because like they're just irrelevant. And then like you'll get like a page turn and it's this super stylized piece of art.
Yeah,
This manga looks great, man. Cole, you're
Yeah, I know.
I feel
I
like
know.
it starts off a little rougher with the art, but like I'm literally flipping through volume 4 right now, and yeah, there's just like Jay said, like there's tons of like very interesting character faces. I can already tell I'm gonna have to turn the volume down on this one when I watch the anime because there's a lot of yelling and a lot of very exaggerated faces. But like you'll be flipping and it's like all of a sudden you'll get a page like this.
yeah.
Where it's just
I
like,
will
that's
say,
beautiful.
yeah, echoing kind of off of what Mike said, it does get better. Like, and even I will say that.
Well, I mean, like, just for to be fair, like, I look at chapter 1 and it has that one shot of Rudo falling through the sky.
Mhm.
And that, I believe it's a double page spread. I don't know. It's one page on K manga, so like whatever. But it looks absolutely gorgeous. So like, yeah, it does look rough in some areas, and rough is in like not great in the early stuff. But like then I get like, let me see if I can find the thing real quick. Okay, yeah. So like then I get like this, and like
What am I looking at? Oh, okay, yeah.
and like
Where-
that
the scene
that,
like literally where he's falling. Yeah.
yeah, and like that looks great, and it's chapter 1. So
Hey man, it's okay to be wrong sometimes, Jay. You don't gotta harp on it with me. It's just not my cup of tea. That's all.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's fine.
No.
It feels very disjointed in many ways, and the art style mirrors that for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's the character designs for me. I'm just not a
Yeah,
not a
the character designs, like you said, are like you put in your quote here. They are quite stylized, the character designs, and I did find myself at times being like, okay, I get you don't need the faces to be that extreme. You don't need you don't need the characters to look that insane.
Yeah.
But like that's kind
liked
of
it.
part of it. That's kind of part of it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
a
part of
little
its
goofy.
charm.
It's a
I
little
get that.
goofy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
it's just his charm. But you know what? We've talked a lot about
It's a
the
taste
manga.
thing. It's a taste thing.
Mhm.
But cat out of the bag. This does have an anime coming out next season.
Really?
What?
Uh,
No way.
Get out of
and
my town.
I could see a lot of people saying, well, like, why don't I just like wait for the anime if that's coming out? Is there a reason to check this out over just waiting for the anime, or should people just wait and see that?
Let me think about this.
Will Cole even
Personally-
watch the anime based on what he's read?
I'll check it out. Why don't you guys go ahead, because you guys are probably higher on it. We can sandwich my negativeness in between your positiveness.
Especially when like you ask the guy if he's going to even watch it, and he says probably, maybe. Like, that's, yeah. As someone who's read 3 volumes of this, and Jay's read probably 15 volumes of this, I'm guessing 10-ish, maybe. Anyway, I would say at this point, I personally am an anime first guy. My preferred medium is the animated medium. I prefer to see that on the screen and it moving. And with this, not only just going to Bones, but Bones Films, their new like higher level production studio,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you're probably going to be better served by just checking out the anime personally, I think. But like it also doesn't seem like a story where like the story is the story that you're going to get in the first season is going to be so mind-blowing that like you're going to ruin the first season of the anime by checking out. Like I feel like just by animating the story of this first 3 volumes, which is probably going to be what the first season is, I feel like you're not losing a lot by knowing what happens, and just like watching how it's cool, stylized, is animated is going to be worth it on its own. What do you think, Jay? As a manga first guy, I'm curious to know if you disagree.
As someone who likes the manga, for this, spoilers on my thoughts, on my final thoughts. This is a good manga. Go read it. But I think that like from what I've seen in trailers and things like that, if you like anime and you are an anime first person, I think that the anime is going to be a good adaptation, just from what I've seen.
I think I suspect the anime will be better. Like it'll do the job, like what you want an anime to do, where it just kind of improves on the manga.
I could see that. Like for that, I could see someone waiting for the anime. If you're like, man, I really want to read that manga, but like, am I going to be, is it going to ruin my experience when I go to the anime? No, I think.
Yeah.
I think there's room for both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I feel like reading it didn't ruin my experience.
Yeah. I just watched the trailer while you guys were talking. Just in case you were wondering why I'm staring at my other screen. It looks cool. It looks cool. I think the stylization of it will lend itself well to being animated. Personally, as the dissenting voice here, I would say if you're unsure, like if you're on the fence about it, I would say maybe just wait till the anime. I'll probably possibly check it out based on how it looks and based on the manga itself. It definitely
ask Cole in 2 months if he checked it out. Let's find out. Yeah.
It definitely looks My Hero Academia-ish.
Yes.
Which is totally fine. My Hero Academia is animated very well, despite its other potential flaws. And I feel like this will do the same. So I would say if you're on the fence, just wait till the anime. No harm. It's cool.
Yep.
It's cool.
Yeah.
You don't have an anime podcast where you have to read the manga.
Well, with the anime coming out, Studio Bones is doing it. We kind of covered this a little bit. But do you think it's a good fit?
Yes.
Interestingly, it's Bones Film, which is like a subsidiary of Bones.
Yeah,
but like all that really tells you is it's going to have a little more higher of a budget than it normally would get if it was just OG Bones.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Bones Films is also doing they're doing the Vigilantes one right now, and they're also doing the final season of My Hero Academia. So, good stuff.
And Vigilantes looks great. So
yeah. In short, yes. It's kind of the obvious answer for this type of manga. It's who else would you want doing it? You know?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I feel like Bones is the best fit for something that's so like messy and grungy and kind of Mad Maxy almost.
Kinda, yeah.
Like this. That I couldn't ask for a better studio.
Yeah. Bones should do a Mad Max anime. That'd be cool.
Would be cool.
Bring back Mel Gibson.
Maybe not.
Maybe not.
Yeah,
but final thoughts and ratings. I think I'm gonna go first with this one. Because we'll probably have a sandwich of opinions here. So I really like this manga. It has a really cool power system, and I like the world that they inhabit. With a set of characters that I like. Is this going to change your life? No, it's a shonen battle manga. So like I feel like if that's your thing, this will probably scratch that itch. If it's not your thing, no, this probably won't change your mind.
Fair, yeah.
Very well said, actually. Yeah.
But like I do have a soft spot for interesting shonen battle manga. And this did tickle my jimmies at the end of the day. I love the art, and the fact that they got an actual graffiti designer to do the graffiti art in the manga is so cool. And
I didn't know
yeah.
that.
Yeah. So tickles your jimmies, Jay. Your jimmies have been tickled. I guess it's my turn to ruin everyone's day. No, I'm just kidding. What I like to do is usually kind of give my answer up front and then explain my rationale behind it. But it's tricky. It's tricky. This time I might have to kind of like hedge my answer here and say I kind of have two. I have a personal answer and I have a answer for
you have a subjective and an objective answer.
Yeah. For the people, I would say consider it. If you think that you'll like it, you'll probably get something out of it. It's well done, shonen battle manga. It's not too deep. It's not too shallow. It's well drawn. It's cool.
I keep waiting for Cole to say, and it's everything I hate.
In that sense, personally.
However,
I would have dropped it. Unfortunately, it just wasn't for me. It's not. Yeah. It's not the kind of thing that I am personally looking for. The character designs were too cool. They were maybe a little over designed. Maybe is how I would look at it. I get the aesthetic that they're going for. It's just not my cup of tea. I've never been like a steampunk type person. I hate the steampunk aesthetic. Everybody's just so cool, and when I see them all posing, I'm like, yeah, whatever. They're so cool. But
what a bunch of nerds, says Cole.
Some things to like, some messages you can take to heart that I do agree with. But overall, personally, I probably would have dropped it if it weren't for this review. I didn't hate it. I just didn't. It's not my. It's not my cup of tea.
Hated it.
Yeah.
You want to kill me?
No, it's not a why. I didn't regret reading it. It was just kind of like, you know, when you're reading something and you're just kind of like, it's just not vibing with me, and I'm a vibes based guy, you know.
Yep. Yeah. And it's my turn now, Cole.
It is.
As the one who nominated.
It's your turn to close the show.
Mm-hmm.
And
say the thing.
As the guy who goes last, wow, you guys have really just said it all. I don't even know what to say anymore, which I can't actually say because this time you guys had wildly different takes on this one. So it's up to me to decide for myself what I think. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think this is a cool, stylistic, semi-generic battle shonen. Generic in a good way, because it has enough familiar tropes that will kind of like, it feels familiar to you while also introducing enough new stuff to keep you interested, or at least unique concepts. Unlike Cole, I prefer my characters interesting looking and not just like generic middle school Japanese student. Yeah.
What? I feel like that was a shot at me.
It was a shot at you. Yeah. I like how stylistic it is, even if it's a bit almost too over the top for even me, the guy who likes that kind of stuff. It's for me. It went to the stylistic trend of being kind of kiddie, and I like more mature seinen stuff. Less it just went a little too deep in the shonen end for me to truly love this, but I did enjoy it. The kind of like Cole, I don't know how much I enjoyed it because I don't feel like I would have, like, in my heart I think I might have dropped it before I got to volume 3, just because I wasn't deep into it, you know. But now that I've got through volume 3 and we've kind of talked about this, and Jay's kind of hyped me up a little bit here with his like takes and explanations of things a little bit, I feel like I'm probably going to continue it. Did it tickle my jimmies? I don't know if I'd go that far, but I think I'd say, you know what, consider it. And I would say consider waiting for the anime and just watching the anime when it comes out because I think it's going to be the better version of this. It really looks like it's going to be. So I'd say consider this one for sure. For if you think you would enjoy this, you probably will. It's almost exactly what you think it's going to be. Honestly, it was pretty well exactly what I thought it was going to be too, except for like the actual themes and stuff like that. But like the very broad strokes, it's what I thought it was. So consider it. But we're right down the middle.
Yeah, I think this was one of the more like diverse reviews that we had.
I like that a lot.
It's nice. Yeah. Just so everybody knows, our next manga review is also a mouthful for me. So thank you, gentlemen, for nominating these.
Not a tongue twister at all.
Yeah. The Fragrant Flower Blooms with Dignity is our next manga review, as nominated by the resident Jalian. Our next anime review is going to be Beyond the Boundary. That was our listener's choice anime review, which, like we said earlier, listener's choice is going to be changing a little bit. So you can actually nominate the listener's choice, our next listener's choice review, directly if you just go to our Discord and nominate it over there. Just do that quickly. Do that soon because our next listener's choice will have to be decided fairly quickly.
Normally we'll give you more time, but this is a quick change that we just thought of.
Yeah, exactly. So thank you so much for listening to another episode of AniPro. If you liked it, please leave a like, subscribe, leave a review, tell a friend about us. If you really like us, why don't you consider supporting us on Patreon like these lovely people, Mr. Family Guy 36, Elijah Wood, Braindead B-Dog, Peach, Frama, Kratos, Juz, Mogmog, Uncle of Light, and Zaffron. By supporting us on Patreon, you get access to all sorts of perks, and it really helps out the show. Oh, that's an exclamation point. Why did I say that like a question?
Yeah, Ron.
I'm Ron Burgundy.
Your brain's frazzled.
We're also on social media at AniProPod, and please join our Discord community to keep up with us and other listeners. Links to everything is in the description, or at our website, AniProPod.com. Jalian, why don't you lead us in a round of bye-byes, if you would be so kind?
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you.
If we could all grab our most prized possession, hold it tightly, and cherish it always, and say...
Just grab your Momo card, Mike. We know what your most prized possession is.
And say, as we do at the end of every episode of AniPro, bye-bye.
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 Bye-bye.